room fill up, be sure to hit that like button, share this content. Let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. And while we're doing that, put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Come on with it. The name.
Ready?
It's Law Nation.
Run from it. Destiny arrives.
Cowboys, Micah Parsons. Front office, not the back office, the front office.
I am.
With their ill-advised situation. Come on. We're going to talk about that. As they say, ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's groove from my studios to yours? Come on, Cowboy Nation, stand tall or not at all. Five, 4, 3, 2, and put a 1 in the chat, baby. Shout out to you, Pitman. With it. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Come on with it. Come on with it.
California, where the Dallas Cowboys have been holding training camp, and a joint practice yesterday between the Rams and the Cowboys didn't feature one of the best defensive players in the game. Micah Parsons continues to be present at camp but has not practiced as he waits for a new deal. All the while, owner and GM Jerry Jones continues to fuel the feud between players, fans, and front office. It all culminated last week when Micah requested a trade.
Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear that correctly.
Jerry then told fans on Saturday don't lose sleep over it, but changing his tune a bit yesterday, saying he's unsure if the All-Pro edge will be available for Game 1 against Philly. As the Cowboys fan in the room, I would like him to be available. Well, let's get boots on the ground out in Oxnard, California, where we find our NFL reporter, Garrett Podell, joining us. I mean, Garrett, you know more than anybody.
All right, so before they go into that details, there was an excerpt earlier today from 105.3 The Fan, and it was Bobby Belt who said he reached out to David Mulugeta, and as well as takes two to tango. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you can only get this deal done with one side. And we all know we've been talking about this on so many different levels of Jerry Jones said that he bought this team with a handshake. But people got to advise Jerry that was almost 40 years ago, or it been 40 years ago, right? So the way that you handle the contracts during that time is far, far different from modern day time. And these individuals, a lot of times people will like to say, well, Myles Garrett said that he would like to be traded, right? And the Cleveland Browns got the deal done. Well, lo and behold, we are not the Cleveland Browns. You know, lo and behold, we are the Dallas Cowboys, and we got to operate from a different side of rules, right? But when someone say that they no longer wants to play here with the silver and blue, that is a deeper meaning, right? Now, there are some speculations of other teams to chime in, especially like the Rams. They're looking at it like, shoot, please, Cowboys, we would give up the form and we would pull out Aaron Donald to get back into a uniform there with their blue and yellow, whatever they may call it, on their side. Because that's the value that Micah Parsons bring to the table. Now, Cowboy fans will fight amongst themselves because this is what tensions do. you pick a side, right? And then influences happen such in a crazy way that even with influences, when the angels were kicked, when the Satan, Lucifer, the beast demon, when he was kicked out of the heavens, his influence with the whip of his tail was able to pull those who had nothing to do with it, and they sitting there saying, wait a minute, why I got to go down? Because you influence. And this is where we are at, ladies and gentlemen. This situation with Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones, with egos attached to it, with the understanding that I'm not finna allow a peon, a person who probably never touched $1 billion, tell me what to do. And if you think I'm lying, there are some people that got a job right now that their supervisor is making 15 cents more than them, and you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell that supervisor nothing. If that supervisor making $2, $3 more than you trying to tell the supervisor something, and they're not listening, right? The fire's down the hallway. Let's go the other way, and the supervisor's not listening. So it's hard, ladies and gentlemen, to get someone who's making $40,000 to $50,000 a year to tell them what to do. Can you only imagine someone who's making billions and billions upon billions of dollars what to do? And that's Jerry Jones, right? And that's just how this whole situation is going.
I had a couple phone calls yesterday that I was trying to just get more clarity on everything that was going on with Micah and everything that's going on with the Cowboys. And so I had reached out to a few people with the Cowboys and reached out to a few people on Micah's side just to kind of get an idea of what do we actually know, what can we ascertain. So
right.
One of the people I called yesterday was David Mulugeta. And
Forbes #1 agent.
He is.
Oh wow.
Yep. He is he's like Bob Sugar, only with like Jerry Maguire's morals.
Can y'all hear the audio straight? Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight.
And like actually like not just backstabbing like Bob Sugar wasn't Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, I feel like you want him.
No, Brandon. That's not how deals go. He can't make a deal without his lawyer or his attorney or, his agent present. He can't do that. So regardless of Micah Parsons made a deal and the deal should be honored. No, that's not how this works, man. And I know most of you guys are smart and wise and educated enough to know and to understand that it takes a complete situation. Just because you get a pre-approval for your home, for those who purchase something, that's north of 6 figures, just because you got something pre-approval for your home doesn't mean that that's yours. And even when you go through the stipulations of what all that they're saying that they want, the underwriters, when it's time for them to go through everything, you end up not getting the house completely if your credit been ran, right? Or if there's other things that's unforeseeable that they will not approve that home. And we're talking about
Travis
money.
Williams, $20.
Appreciate you.
This whole saga has become less about trading Micah Parsons and more about people being fed up with Jerry Jones and the way he runs this franchise. If the Lakers can sell for $10 billion, then dang it, so can the Cowboys.
Right. Shoot, you ain't lying. Yes, indeed. Brandon Cups says Micah agreed he's effed. No, he's not. Because in order for an agreement to be concrete for the NFL, now Texas got different laws. Of course, there's non-binding agreements and there's verbal agreements and all of these things. But according to the NFLPA and according to the CBA, there shall not be a player that can under his own mindset to say, yeah, I agree to this term, that I agree to play for $2. That player would not get that agreement done because there are things and there are rules and regulations that's already aligned. And Jerry, as slick as he can be, he's trying to talk the situation and say, hey, this is me and Micah Parsons deal, not me and the agent situation. You still got to include the agent. Now, Parsons can, dare I say, and this would not be advisable, right, for him to fire his agent and act as his own agent or go out there and find another agent, which we can argue that could be a situation. But when someone have the mindset that they have the desire to no longer play for an organization, that's where the line in the sand is at. It's drawn. And that's where we are at. And that's the reality of it, Cowboy Nation, is the want versus need. The Cowboys want players to look at it like, hey, you playing with the silver and blue and the star on the side of the helmet, you should give the team discount. The only way that you can get that collective discount if you sign early. There's no ifs, ands, and buts around it. Once the market value is the market, you can't just waltz up into Frisco, Texas and say, hey, I want this house at $5. But, yeah, you want it at $5, but the house is worth $900,000. Once versus the actual price is not going to change. And we can say, even with this particular situation, the Cowboys want to be successful in the postseason. The Cowboys want to be successful to go beyond the postseason in the Super Bowl. You want all of those things. But at the same time, you are not doing the things that creates those opportunities so that you can win in the postseason, so that you can win in the Super Bowl, because you are not doing the things that get you to those points. Right? So that's just the reality of it. And for the life of me, I can't figure out how that there are so many people on the side of Jerry Jones when this been 30 years, 30 seasons, and at least with our mindset, from what we can see with our natural eyes, 10 to 15 years of contracts not being solidified. So it is exactly insanity. Doing things over and over again, expecting different results. And that, my friend, is a crazy deal. Now, it still takes two to tango. Jerry Jones still holds all of the high cards. He got the Joker, Deuce. He got them all. Because at the end of the day, Micah Parsons is, by statute of his contract, is still under contract. And by the latter of the way the Cowboys, and not just the Cowboys, but the CBA and the NFL works, is that Jerry Jones controls at least 2 more years because you can franchise tag the player twice. Now, this is the old storyline of, yeah, you can win that battle, but why cut your nose off to spite your face? These are the number one problems with the Cowboys. The number one problem with the Cowboys front office is ultra sensitive. They don't have big gonads. They get in their feelings more so than any team in the National Football League. They are a very sensitive organization as it relates to when the players start chirping and talking and saying that they don't want X, Y, and Z. They are very fragile to that degree, and they are very sensitive. On top of that, their lack of execution with the ideology of forecasting. They don't have the plan of actions to be able to handle those things. Law, do you have any truth to this? Yeah. Amari Cooper refused to get the jab. Oh, we send him off to Siberia, and we go get a 5th-round draft pick for it, right? And Matt, well, let's go. Look, me and him got probably the same amount of playing experiences in the National Football League, right? So the Cowboys tend to get into their feelings more so than anything in any organization out there. Now, granted, you know, we can argue and say, well, in the last 30 years, 30 seasons, the Cowboys ranked top 5 or top 8, give or take, in wins. Everyone have a reason, but do results makes the really thing that matter? And the Cowboys haven't been receiving those results. So it is for what it is. They love laying late fees. As Simmons says it, they love laying. I guess they love paying late fees, I guess. But, yeah, and that's just for what it is. Yeah, so unfortunately. Now, Jerry did state, or in his presser, or in his interview, I meant to say, David Mulugeta still haven't received the phone call from Jerry. And they have reached out to the front office multiple times.
A backstabbing agent.
No, you just want somebody to get the job done. And David will get it done. And he's shown that before. And so I had just...
Local guy.
He's from Dallas initially. He now lives in Austin. But David
went to Texas?
Yeah, he's a Longhorn. And David is... Like we've talked about, David's reputation is really strong as the power player agent in the NFL now. Everything that Rosenhaus was kind of considered to be 20 years ago, that is David today. And so I had just reached out to him and touched base. I want to just ask him about specifically, there was just one question in particular that I had that I figured he'd probably be able to give me the answer for. And that was the topic after we were going through the timeline yesterday of did Micah want to get a deal done last year? Because I think that's something that we haven't gotten necessarily a definitive timeline on of when things would happen. I know Mike said it was after the season in his statement, but then there was a quote we were talking about yesterday where he had said, I'm just focused on playing, and how Steven had said he's betting on himself. He wants to stack up the year.
And the Cowboys version is that they were totally in on getting a deal done last year because they could have been living in the threes.
Listen properly. And that's what makes it right, because I seen my guy says, well, Micah Parsons is wrong. How can he be wrong when he literally said, I would love to have this deal done last season? Right. I would love to have this deal done last season. We would love to get this thing done last season before the possibilities of Myles Garrett getting 40. It wasn't even heard of, ladies and gentlemen, last season. That's the difference of what a year makes. 1 year makes a difference from paying $40 million to a low-end $30 million. And if y'all don't think that is accurate enough, even in the great state of Texas, 1 year different can be the difference of you purchasing. I'm just using the houses as something that we can use as common ground. It could be the difference of you paying $700,000 for a home versus $900,000 to $1 million within 1 year. This world continues to spin. Write this down. Just because your world stopped doesn't mean that the world stops. Just because we had a situation where we sat down and we sat and looked at each other in each other's eyes and said, hey, I would love to have this at this particular moment, doesn't mean that next year we get right back to that spot and the very much so thing that we wanted, that no longer exists. It don't. So at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys, I truly believe, and my grandma, boy, shoot, may she rest in peace. She used to always say that there's people in hell with good intentions. There's people in hell with great intentions. Oh, I didn't mean to. I thought I was doing the right thing. The Cowboys front office, they may think that they are operating with great intentions. They may think that they are doing things the right way and everyone else is doing things the wrong way. And their recipe to success is their way. But when we go back and we start looking up historical data and we're looking at teams to ultimately that lifted up that Lombardi trophy, they did these things, ladies and gentlemen. They paid their own superstars early. And if they do not value their superstars like that anymore, they feel as if, though, it's better to trade away and get something back in return and utilize those pieces to get more and more bodies in the building as it relates to acquisitions. Now, the Cowboys been labeled as their agency, or the Cowboys been labeled as a great draft team, right? They draft pretty well. Oh man, the Cowboys draft pretty well. So do the Rams. They draft pretty well. So do the Eagles. They draft pretty well. We're not the only team that draft well. You get what I'm saying? The Lions, they draft pretty well, right? So we think that we're doing everything right and righteous, and at the same time, we're doing everything wrong. We drive up the price of our own players, which is crazy. Whereas if I can do a quick research, there's about $30 to $40 million that we leave on the table just by lollygagging. And the Ravens draft pretty well too, short dog. Yeah, you're right. The Ravens, boy. Yeah, they draft pretty well, you know. By us lollygagging, and old folks say pussyfooting around, we drive up our own price. And what we do most of the time is we create our own tensions in our divisions within our division or within our fan base. There's people right now that's sullying and denigrating, spitting, casting aspersions upon Micah Parsons. There's people right now saying Michael's wrong. A 25 to 26-year-old kid, he should have it all well put together, and he should be able to sit down with Jerry Jones, who's 80 to 90 years old, give or take, whatever reptilian blood he got in him right now. That he should be able to handle his own millions upon millions of dollars, right? That's crazy. There's a great divide. I can go down every player, all of our superstars. There's a great divide within the Cowboys organization that there are literally more. I look at our fan base now is that collectively, by me being a content creator in this Cowboy space, in the last 9 to 10 years, we have became one of the worst fan base across the National Football League because we allowed so many fickle fans inside, right, who voiced their nonsense opinions about this particular team, and they drive the wedge in between everything possible that can come out of their mouth. Law, do you have any truth to this? Yeah. There's right now a great split, a great divide on Trayvon Diggs. There's right now a great split, a great divide on Dak Prescott. Right now there's a great split, a great divide, even within the confines of our own 88. CD Lamb. Oh, man, he just a slot guy, man. He can't ride up outside by himself. He don't have the takeaway speed that we really need. There's a great divide. There's a great divide, literally, even with Bland. On all of our players, there's always us fighting us. We can't even stand tall and toe-to-toe, blow for blow for any other guys, like the Washington team, like the Giants, like the Eagles, but we literally fight each other. We literally do. Oh, man. Also, man, he don't deserve that money, man. He's not a Jeffrey Simmons. He's not a Quinion. Was it Quinnen Williams? He's not that guy. No, JS. I've been around sports, man, for a long time, bro. And we, as Cowboy fans, divide each other up the most, even within the content creation side. Content creators for Cowboy, there's fighting over this, fighting over that. Some people don't even know how many yards are in a football field, don't even know what quarters defense is, but they will fight you blow for blow. Don't even know what an A gap is there a double A gap? They don't know none of that stuff. Don't even know all of the linebacker positions. But we'll straight up tell you that they know football. Never even put on cleats, don't even know what to put on first, right? Yes, but it is for what it is. And there's still a segment of Cowboy fans that says, bring Tony Romo back. Yeah.
Damn!
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, they bring Tony Romo back, you know. Hey, Lyle Collins, he's finna be a legend. Y'all bring him back. Oops, they brought him back. I can't make this up.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
That's us, all in a nutshell.
Instead of the Force.
So this is basically what David told me. He said this is the on the record description of this is what happened. Said after the 24 season, saw them at Combine, and told them we're open for business. Basically, said we're ready to do a deal. We're ready to work on an extension if you guys want to.
This is the Combine when all of us were there.
No, this is last year. This is 18 months ago. They told them we're ready to do a deal. So they are disputing the claim that they haven't wanted to get a deal done. They've wanted to wait. David said, no, we told them we were ready to go. And he said Cowboys had told them at the time, we got a lot of things we got to work through right now, particularly Dak's contract is a priority at the moment. And he said they totally understood it, went, yep, handle what you got to handle, understand it, that's a pressing issue. Just let you know, we're open for business when you guys are done with that. You guys can hit us up. Well, obviously, Dak didn't get done until week 1. Once week 1 rolls around, then Micah was focused on the season. And so it's like, okay, no, we're in season now. We're not going to go negotiating and make this be a distraction. We're focused on the season. So,
man, that's the same storyline I done heard, read, rewrote it, and then repurpose it back out here. You know, that's the same storyline. Oh man, see, me and Dak and Todd France, we all had an agreement, right? We had the agreement that he would play for this number or under this number. Then the season went on, and during the season, the players focus in on the season, not the contracts. So therefore, we're going to wait next year, and we're going to let them play it out. Look, this is the same. Micah Parsons might as well be the Dak Prescott of the defense, right? I can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same storyline. Remember, fighting over the years or the length of the years, the guaranteed money. It's crazy. It's the same. Like, it's just literally what the Cowboys did was they jumped into 2019 time machine and they said, you know what, let's just repent, let's just repentance, por favor, you know. Come on, man. It's the same storyline, literally. And it's the same thing when we was doing the Cowboys collectives. It's literally when we was going over everything, we said, you know what? It's the same thing that when Mike McCarthy first got his job in 2020, they was having that dispute on whether or not it's going to be Dak Prescott or is it going to be, I forgot the guy's name with the red hair. I forgot his name. And y'all said that he can read and write. Dak couldn't read nor write. I forgot his name. Andy Dalton, I believe. He throw the best accurate balls. He just never had a team like the Cowboys. And I was sitting there like, well, sure, we winning. We winning. Don't y'all know we paid $10 to $12 million for Andy Dalton? And it ended up being Benjamin Anthony DiNucci out there instead of Andy Dalton. Boy, I'm telling y'all, it's crazy how the world never changes, man. Nothing new under the sun. And they were going over contract disputes on whether or not you should pay Dak, extend Dak, or let him finish out his career, finish out his contract or what have you. And he ended up having to, I guess, prove it for himself or what have you, prove that he's worthy. And about 4 or 5 weeks into the game or what have you, I guess we played against the Giants and his leg was broken into million pieces. Well, don't this sound the exact same way? You know, for Micah Parsons to come into this season with a new coach, a brand spank new coach, and the coach, instead of worrying about playing football and coaching football, we got contracts on the table. We're not prepared to go up against the Eagles. We talking contracts. The Rams scorched earth us on the defense. They said that offense was moving that ball all over us. Yeah, because what this does, it draws another line in the sand. Any of these guys that's on this defense that's looking to play long-term for the Cowboys, they can look right at number 11 and say to themselves, damn, if they treating 11 like that, I'm not even half of his production. What they gonna do to me? What would be the ultimate incentives for a Cowboy player on defense or offense to go balls out, lights out, to go crazy? What would be the ultimate reasons for that? If Dak had to fight for his contract, if Lamb had to sit out and fight for his contract, now that we're seeing this pattern that even Micah Parsons got to fight and scramble and scrape and now telling everybody, hey, I no longer want to even play for this team because they don't even value me. What would be the incentives? Y'all tell me, what would be the incentives of a Cowboy player going absolutely nuts out there on the field, day in and day out? What are the incentives? What are the goals? What are the high grounds, the morals? The morality clause on all of this. You know, what do we get? Sure. To be on the silver and blue and the star on the side of the helmet. Bland had nothing to do with it. He get multitudes of pick sixes and play lights out, and they still say, well, it's against terrible teams. Oh man, he can't do that against A1 teams. We don't want a team. We don't want an organization that does that, right? No, nobody else go through the scrutiny of who did you play in order to get those stats. What team was it against? Yeah. Yeah, stop, shake, cookies, yeah.
But that's when Micah said, I'm going to play the season. It was because it had started. So when they heard that, they understood that aspect of it. But because that took so long, that kind of ended the opportunity to get anything done in 24 as soon as the season began. So they then communicated again to the Cowboys in 25 this past year. They were ready to do business again. And nothing has transpired, obviously, since then. So the official word is from them is that they have communicated on 2 separate occasions over the course of 18 months. Guys, we're ready to do this, and it just hasn't happened yet. But I think I'll tell you, the impression I got yesterday talking to people at the Cowboys and just calling around the league and stuff like that is they're not joking with the request. Like right now, they're serious, it feels like. Now, I didn't get into any of that with David specifically because we're just trying to address that one thing. But I think when you talk to people around, there's a lot of people around the Cowboys right now who feel like they're not bluffing.
Because all of us are saying they're going to get it done.
Yeah, they'll get it done.
They're going to get it done. It's a negotiating ploy.
I don't think it's lost, but it's in need of repair. The way things are currently, they want out, and that.
Here's me with this right here, ladies and gentlemen. We've been live for a good minute. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. I want people. Go ahead with the super chat, Drake Kennedy with the super chat.
Drake Kennedy, $5. The incentive is they all became highest paid regardless. I'll argue with a man if I get $200 million at the end. Gotta play well to get here.
Yeah, that is a good fact, Drake Kennedy. That's a great fact. And I think it was the movie that we've been all talking about with Thanos. He said you did all of that for a drop of blood, right? And your failures brought you back to me. And at the end of the day, the Dallas Cowboys, you are right to put this out here by the tensions being so thick, you can cut it with a butter knife in the air, right? Because people are creatures of habits, and people, once they turn on you, it's hard for them to turn it off and turn back for you. And people, instead of celebrating the $200 million that you receive, right, then they question the $200 million. And because it's been such a real tug of war, a real battle to get that money. Now the fans will look at it as if we better win the Super Bowl. We gave you all of that money. You better show up in the postseason. You better give me more, Micah Parsons. In 4 postseason games, you only had 1 sack. Well, for $200 million, I need 200 sacks. Like the expectations began to be poured upon the player with unbelievable parameters. And, Law, do you have any truth to that? Brock Purdy, from a scale, is getting paid about 15 to maybe 20, could be possibly $30 million more than Dak Prescott. Now, his APY is lower, but not a damn person on 3-ladder, 4-ladder network said, hey, Brock Purdy, you got paid $250 million. We better see you lift up that Lombardi trophy. Brock Purdy, since you got this money, we're not going to be able to provide more and more weapons, more and more pieces for you. You're going to have to do now publicly. The owner is not saying you're going to have to do now, Brock Purdy, more with less. We don't hear that across the league, but we get all of these details with Micah Parsons, with CeeDee Lamb, with Dak Prescott, now that they get their corns, their remunerations, as if though they didn't earn it. But when they get it, they got to earn it. You know, look, I'm telling y'all, you do not want to be in a situation like that. Now, granted, somebody said, man, give me $200 million right now, Lord. They can talk bad about me, man, until the cow jump over the moon, man. Shoot, give me money, man. Give me $250 million, man. Yeah. But at the end of the day, y'all know, even those who want to disagree, I know in the hearts of hearts, y'all still agree with me. Y'all know it. I know y'all agree with me. Because y'all wouldn't be here. Y'all wouldn't be here going back and forth typing and interacting in the chat if you didn't. Money is never brought up on any other guys on their contracts and beyond. Nobody's talking about Goff's money, $250 million, and they got $47 million available to spend. They can pick up Parsons this weekend if the Cowboys release the hounds and just say, okay, we will allow him to seek other opportunities. The 49ers right now will break their legs to go get a Micah Parsons. And matter of fact, the team that have less money than us with $19 million, man, they will find money in a shoebox, old pair of cleats, a helmet. They will find some money. They got $19 million, and they are being entertained with the Micah Parsons trade situation. And we're here sitting on $31 million, and we sitting here scrambling and scraping on how we can pay our superstar. Shoot, it's crazy. Shoot. I mean, people do, write this down, people do what they want to do. It can be a football game, 32 degrees outside, and it's very cold, windy, and everything. But if somebody want to be at that game, they'll take their shirt off to be up front, and they'll be at that game. But if they don't want to be at that game, same location, 85 degrees. Hey, man, it's just a little too cold, man. It's just a little too cold for me to be out there, man. I don't want to go to that game this week. You know, yeah, I think that it might rain. But people do what they want to do. Yeah, the cap isn't real. Yeah, you're right. So when Micah Parsons stated, I do not want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, me as a diehard Cowboy fan, I do not want you on my team if you do not want to be here, right? There's the door. That's me giving y'all my thoughts. And I don't have nothing to hide from that. I don't want you here if you don't want to be here. But the Cowboys don't operate that way because they're not those guys. They're not them. They don't know how to wheel and deal. They don't know how to trade a player 2 years too early opposed to 2 years too late. They don't know how to wheel and deal. They would say, oh, let's see who all would love to have Micah Parsons. And we love Parsons. When you go out there, if you was out there in Oxnard, you would see a bunch of 11 jerseys, a bunch of 7 jerseys, and a bunch of 4 jerseys. It's hard to find anybody else jersey. 11, 7s, 4s. Occasionally, you would see, 88 jerseys go hard too. Yeah, a lot of 88s. But you didn't see a whole bunch of other jerseys out there. No shade upon those other guys, by the way. So that's my only thing. Don't drag it out so much that it sullies the player. It causes the player to read these things because it's all over the networks. They get notifications just like any of us. They hearing the news. They see the respect. And let me say, yeah, Diggs not good, but I feel you. But a lot of people got them 7 jerseys. Yes, indeed. A lot of Agent Zero jerseys too, Cody. Yeah. Maybe the numbers just cool. Maybe they just like the numbers. But here's the thing, even with Micah Parsons. Why do all of that? And then you run the player down into the ground, his trade stock plummet, right? And now all of a sudden you sitting there saying, oh, I want 3 first-round draft picks. I've seen so many people say, oh, man, Parsons is overrated, but we want 4 first-round draft picks. In a player. Come on, man, it don't work that way. Yeah. So it's crazy for us to live through this, Cowboy Nation, through this era.
how important Micah Parsons has been to this team. Obviously, watching him be present at camp has been important, but bring us up to speed here on these conversations that Jerry and Micah have apparently not been having.
Good morning, Haley. And you're absolutely right. That's the key thing here is the conversations that Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones have not been having, because that's really why we're at a stalemate here in these negotiations. Because when I spoke with Jerry Jones after practice yesterday, he was asked, have you spoken with Micah Parsons since his trade request on Friday? The answer was no. Okay, so have you spoken to Dave Mulligetta, Micah Parsons' agent? No, I have not. Okay, so how is this going to get done? The big sticking point, even though Jerry...
Osmosis, telekinesis, whatever we got Charles Xavier somewhere. He's going to speak into the minds. Charles Xavier, where you at? Come save the day.
Jerry Jones told me there aren't any sticking points. Is they're meeting back in March, and that's when Micah Parsons went to Jerry Jones for what he thought
Pause
was
right here.
Talk about...
Pause it right here. Nick Bosa, 34. I promise you, the Cowboys could have had that deal done with Micah Parsons at $33 million. I don't think anybody would have been mad at it last year. I think that even with Parsons getting Nick with only $1 million, a little bit over him, he would have been cool with it. But when you allow them leaves to fall, everybody on this list, ladies and gentlemen, is 4 to 5 years older than Parsons. That's crazy. So for us to sit back and say, all right, cool, we had an agreement. Parsons, we want you to sign for 33. Who's doing that? Come on. Who's doing that? And on top of that, the price of the market going to always increase. If the NFL increase its revenue from 2024 to 2025, how come we expect the players not to increase their revenue or bargaining asking price for 2025 to stay afloat in line with, dare I say, the NFL revenue? The NFL revenue this season is about to quadruple, not quadruple, but double for what it did last year, because now they got the pre-approval for Netflix for another generational contract. It's going to be crazy. Amazon gave them $111 billion. Let that sink in. Amazon. The people that knock on your door, and by the time you get there, they gone with a whole bunch of stuff in front of your doors. You don't know how they do it. This is what we do. And then we demand the player to win the Super Bowl. Look, there's nobody out here crying for TJ Watt to win a super plate, a super fork, a super napkin. There's no stipulations of Myles Garrett, since he got his $40 million, to win a super plate, a super necklace, none of that stuff, man. A super fork, none of this stuff. Danielle Hunter, $35.6 million. There's nobody streaming and yelling, hey, the Houstons, they better win the Super Bowl.
Leadership, but really Jerry started throwing contract terms out at Micah Parsons, and Micah gave him a few responses, but Parsons assumed that was an informal chat. Jerry viewed that as formal because, as he told me yesterday, that's how I bought the Dallas Cowboys. He said back in 1989, the deal was done with a handshake and eye contact. Well, in 2025 and player negotiations, you need it on paper. You need the agent involved to look it over.
Yeah. Jerry talking about in 1918, shoot. All right, so most sacks in his first 4 seasons, NFL. Can y'all read that? NFL history. His story, right? We got at the bottom of this list Micah Parsons with 52.5, right? DeMarcus Ware, it's amazing that DeMarcus Ware had 53.5. They right at shoulder to shoulder with each other. Let you know how good we been with that type of situation. J.J. Watt with 57, Derek Thomas with 58, and that's just unheard of with Reggie White. God, dog, boy. 70. That brother had 70. And that's when Reggie was with the them damn Eagles. But somebody asked Reggie, you know, my E-verse in peace. But just somebody asked Reggie, how did he go up against Eric Williams? Boy, Eric Williams used to dog walk Reggie White, man. Who remember Eric Williams? Dog walk. Reggie White used to try to come over there, try to baptize us with them hands and getting upfield. But shoot, them 70, that didn't happen on the Cowboys. Yeah. Reggie was the man. God, dog. 70 sacks in 4 seasons. That's crazy. And on top of that, you got to quantify the fact that they didn't play all of them games like we do over here in modern day football. That's crazy. But stats don't mean nothing if you ain't got no ship. You know, Chris Dantzler, yep. But I guarantee you, them damn Eagles, they wish they would have kept Reggie. You know, shoot. Yeah, I bet you they wish they would have kept Reggie. They would have needed Reggie in 1996 when we played him in that postseason. Yeah. They would have needed him, but it's a whole nother story.
That's Parsons' stance, and that's why we're at the stalemate here, is because Jerry thought, okay, this is a done deal. We spoke some terms together verbally, but Parsons wants it done in writing. Jerry has yet to reach out to Micah or his agent about this, even though Parsons got these negotiations going in January by setting up a meeting at Jerry World for the college.
Let me pause this another thing, too, with Cowboys fan. Oh, my gosh, man, I love y'all, man. I'm only talking like this because I love y'all, and I know y'all love me to a degree, man. Y'all love me, too, man. Y'all love me. But I love y'all first, man. I love y'all first. I just love the way that the Cowboys look at this and be like, man, we can find another Micah Parsons, man. You know, yo, boy, y'all got that Beyonce mentality, man. You know, to the left, you know. Y'all got that Beyonce mentality, man. I can find another you in a minute. However that song go, I forgot how the lyrics go. But y'all get what I'm saying. Yeah. So, boy... Y'all look at it, man. Anybody can be a one-trick pony. That list of names, that's okay. We got Donovan Ezaraku. We got Oversold, you know. Boy, y'all think that anybody can do this. That always get me too. Oh my gosh, man. All I'm saying, you give me any of these guys, Reggie White, Derek Thomas, J.J. Watt, DeMarcus Ware, Micah Parsons, I'm not trying to get rid of them. I'm going to turn it to Dr. Umar without the bagging, though. I'm not trying to get rid of them. But y'all can still send me some money to the Cash App. Yes, indeed. It'll be strolling on the links below. But what I'm getting at is that instead of getting rid of Micah Parsons, just add to it. That's what I would do. Instead of getting rid of, you got one tooth, you know, in your mouth. And the dentist trying to tell you, let's just pull that one. No, man, shoot, build around that one. You know, that's that one tooth. I want to be organic somewhere, you know. Shoot. But y'all will say, man, pull out all the teeth. You know what I'm saying? And pull that tooth right there for sure. Pull that tooth, and we'll just numb them. No. Yes, indeed, man. So at the end of the day, Law said, send the money. Yo, yeah, shoot, man. Brother, shoot.
Take the money out! All of it! Come on! You're wasting my time now. Come on!
Yes, indeed.
Come on!
And let's get it.
Okay, this is a done deal. We spoke some terms together verbally, but Parsons wants it done in writing. Jerry has yet to reach out to Micah or his agent about this, even though Parsons got these negotiations going in January by setting up a meeting at Jerry World for the College Football Playoff semifinal game against Ohio State and Texas back on January 10th. So Micah has done everything in his power to get these talks going. He's asked Mulugeta to call Jerry. Jerry's got to reach out and pick up the phone. And if he doesn't, we're going to stay exactly where we are here in a stalemate.
Jerry ghosting David Mulugeta. He got that joker on block. David Mulugeta. Who? Let him know I'm Jerry Wayne, man. I ain't pick up no phone for no David Mulugeta till you get his name changed. I ain't finna mess up with him. We got David Mulugeta on line 4 for George Pickens. He's trying to come to Dallas. Oh, pick up that phone right there. Pick that one up, though. Boy, they act like we don't have resources here. We got like 5 or 6 people that David Mulugeta represent right here on this same team. Sam Williams, yes, he's one of the guys. Malik Hooker, come on with it. So they know who David Mulugeta is, but he refuses, right? He say, hey, pick up the phone for David Mulugeta. But if he mentioned a Mike or a Ka or a Par or a Son, hang up on him. Yeah. Get rid of him. We only talking to the other guys. We are not leaving any information or details because they're going to try to do this to me. They're going to try to grandstand me. Don't you know I'm Jerry Wayne Jones? Yeah.
It is so Jerry Jones of him to say, back in my day when I did this deal, it was just for a handshake. And yet here we are, and it is 2025. And to your point, Garrett, it does not work that way. You need to put pen to paper.
Yes, Jerry, them old ways don't work, man. No, I don't have to walk to the other side of the street. No, I don't have to toe the line. And no, you can't tar and feather me, Jerry, because we have a disagreement. No, Jerry. Just because it was done like that in the olden days doesn't mean that it can be done like this in modern day. Jerry gonna fool around and slip up and say the wrong words and be forced to sell this team. Jerry, get your act together, man. You know, because at the end of the day, pick up the phone. The man been calling. Get this contract done. Forget on who terms. Let's get this deal moving and grooving.
So obviously that has been the cloud over what I would say has been a really positive training camp for the team. You know, I was out there last week. I asked a lot of the guys, you know, is the vibe different? And Dak even told me, he said, yeah, it feels a lot different here. So from your perspective, you got to watch them practice against the Rams yesterday. What were your biggest takeaways there? What did we learn from that joint practice?
I think there was definitely both some positive and negative to take away from the practice. We're going to start with the glass half full positive. Dak Prescott looks great. That hamstring looks fully healed. He's able to move around to the right and the left. And his connection with CeeDee Lamb, obviously, and new Cowboy George Pickens, that's humming. I mean, whenever Lamb kind of went over the middle on some over routes, that was money. And with Pickens, you can really see the trust developing in the red zone. They had a low red zone drill against the Rams defense yesterday. And Dak threw up some fades to both the back left corner and back right corner. Pickens came down with both contested catches. Now,
yeah. Oh, my God. These two right here. There's only one person that can mess this up. Jerry! Let me leave Jerry Jones alone before they get a knock at the door. Yeah. But there's only one deal with this situation. By me watching Lamb and CeeDee, oh, my bad, Lamb and George, George and Lamb, or Pickens and CeeDee, it's been a good thing to see. But what these two done did for this team is open it up for Ferg. I think Ferg is going to have an unbelievable year. As much as we beating up Jerry Jones and them right now. Man, we got to congratulate them on the Ferg situation. Yeah. Optics may be looking a little crazy, but at the end of the day, they're going to be extremely right with that as long as he stay healthy. If Ferg get, knock on some wood, if Ferg get hurt or anything like that, then that could be a situation. But this opens up for Ferg. When Brevin Span Ford was able to move forward, it opens it up for him. Princeton Fant looked like a legit tight end, and he's number 85. He started out on this team at the fullback spot. Princeton Fant looks really good. The other guy that's been opening for him by these two guys being out there on the field, being, dare I say, a guy by the name of Kevontae Turpin. Oh, yeah, Kevontae Turpin been doing his thing because the focal point has been on these two. I've been saying this for many a moons. These guys are the primaries, right? And then you have your ancillaries. If my ancillaries can move the chain, shoot, come on with it, baby. We are moving in a right direction. Now, the run game is to be damned right now. They were getting in the backfield before the quarterback is saying, yeah, here we go. And then he's getting hit as they do the handoff. But there was some good movements, there were some good runs, but there were some bad ones. It takes time. The offensive line is the only unit that all five guys must be on the same page. So I'm going to give them a little grace. But when it get down to me watching this game and me watching Dak Prescott and beyond and doing his thing or what have you, I come here to tell y'all, beautiful people that's watching, is that to me, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Just to me, ladies and gentlemen, I feel as if though, and I could be 1,000% wrong, I think that this is not enough for Dak Prescott. I don't think that this is enough reps for him. That's just me. I think that he would need more and more reps, more and more opportunities to throw the ball, sling the ball around, to be on the same page with Lamb, be on the same page with George, and to get in rhythm. Because you seen on that run play right there, the inability to lean and give you multitudes of 2 to 3 yards on a consistent basis, or even 3 to 4 yards is a better way to say it, on a consistent basis. That this is going to be a pass-heavy team. And if there's one thing that you do not want to be one-dimensional against, and that would be the Philadelphia Eagles. I just think that Dak Prescott would need a full, in my opinion, at least, and it just could be just for me. I could be, like you say, y'all could say I'm wrong. Y'all could say, hey, Law, you don't know anything. I get it. I take it on the beard. Pause if necessary. But this right here, how many reps? Let me show you this play right here. This week 1 versus the Eagles. And let's say week 1 versus the Eagles. And we trying to set the tone, which I get it. Shoddy, the first few plays were all run. But let's say series 1, you line up Dak Prescott on the center. You got Pickens, you got Lamb on the outside. You got Turpin inside the slot or what have you. Javonte is your deep back. And your first play is, okay, yeah, here we go. And they motion one to the left side, and this happened right here. Boom. You get hit before you even get a yard to gain, right? How many damn times you can do that against the Eagles and expect our defense to slow down them when they got Saquon, A.J. Brown, and Smitty, and if they score one time, now you down by 7, and if they get up 14-0, how many times you gonna try to do this play? I'm just saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate too. By the way, how many times you think you gonna just sit there and say, okay, we gonna run it on them? You know, shoot, you ain't gonna beat them boys that way, and they don't have a Jalen Carter on that line, nor a Jordan Davis. This is the Rams, who were ranked 25th, 26th in run defense, respectfully speaking, right? So, and that's Dak Prescott. I called that one a fumble, but they let that to be a pass play. What? He climbed the pocket. He's getting hit, y'all. Let me see if I can rewind this. Yeah, he getting hit. Dak getting hit right here. We talking about practice, not a game. Practice. Look, he get hit. So they being nice. They being nice. If this is a real game, they trying to put him in the dirt. I'm just saying. Don't call Chuma Edoga. I'm just saying. All focal points need to be winning week 1. Winning week 2. These are divisional games. We talking about contracts. We talking about contracts. We talk about everything but what we need to talk about.
Both of them were called back for an illegal shift penalty, offensive pass interference penalty, and those are things Brian Schottenheimer told me they're going to watch the film back on and correct. But it's very clear that the connection with Lamb and Pickens can really drive this offense. I will say, though, on the negative side, we talked about Micah Parsons and his value, right? When he's been on the field for Dallas since 2021 when he entered the league, the Cowboys have the highest or best defensive expected points added per play in the NFL. When he's not on the field, they are dead last. And yesterday on the defensive side of the ball, it was very clear Parsons was gone because Jimmy Garoppolo was in there instead of an injured Matthew Stafford, who has a back issue, but it looked like Stafford was out there. Devonta Adams, Puka Nacua, newly re-signed running back Kyron Williams. They all got a lot of what they wanted yesterday against Dallas's defense.
They did, y'all. And what y'all want me to lie to kick it? You know what I'm saying? You want me to lie and say, yeah, man, sure, it's preseason, man, or this is practice, not a real game. It's practice. And I get it. I understand completely how people may feel about X, Y, and Z things, but we just got to get our mindset together. I want to pull this up right quick. And this is why I say I don't like it, And it's not, Big Sarge, this is not the panic button, but my job is, y'all want me to lie to y'all? This is what y'all want me to do. Y'all want me to lie to y'all and say, we finna beat the brakes off the Eagles, 35-2. They're going to get a safety on us, and that's going to be happening in the first series of the game. Oh, y'all want me to lie to y'all. That's what y'all want me to do. Y'all want me to sit here and tell y'all, from what I've seen with my eyes, that I didn't see these things, but I seen something else. Is that what y'all want me to do? Y'all let me know. If y'all want me to not tell y'all the truth, and when I said that Dak Prescott, when I was out there at camp, when I said those things, he didn't look extremely good, and he didn't look extremely bad. He looked like he was going through his progressions. He looked like he was just trying to make sure that this offense that they're trying to implement is right for him. And he attacked the field east and west, not necessarily north and south, right? And when we seen Joe Milton out there, he was attacking north and south. Now, Joe Milton, he is a guy that's athletic, was good. He looked like he's comfortable. He's changing plays. Now, he's not there yet, ladies and gentlemen. He is literally, if that one read is not there, he would tuck it and take it and run and get some necessary yards. If it's there, he would force the ball in there. If he trusts his arm. You don't throw 75 yards by mistake. So that's just for what it is. Joe do look good, but this is the other part of it. Joe never been inserted on the ones. He's been doing this on the twos. Now, when we go back and we start to think about things, watching how all ones and twos got just ripped apart by the Rams, I'm talking about on defense, hey, there's not much to see here. Now, he hit his head, like he hit his hand on a helmet, so they, out of caution, they pulled him, and they gave Will Grill a lot of shots. But what I need to see in this postseason game, well, not postseason, preseason game. Well, we talking postseason, but preseason game. I need to see whether or not Joe can really handle that, right? And we will see. Hopefully, his thumb and fingers are okay, right? But it's not as if though Joe looked better than Dak Prescott though, and I get it. Regardless, they can have me as the backup quarterback. But y'all will be sitting there saying, put Law in there, man. I'm tired of Dak, man. It's been 9 years, 9 seasons, man. Dak haven't done anything. He's 2-5, Law. Dak only got 2 more playoff wins than you, Law. Law, we root for you, Law. Come on, Law. Come on, baby. I know how y'all think. Yeah, Dak been in the league for 9 seasons, and he only got 2 playoff wins more than Law. So look, we root for Law. Put the headband on, Law. They hit me one time. I'm sitting there like, now how can I collect that check now again, Jerry? Yes, indeed. But the T's, a return from the Rams, and these are the things that that we can all look back on and say, okay, all right, now, granted, we know that you are angry and upset. But it states here, Aaron Donald, he says, if Micah Parsons go to the Rams, I may have to call 210, whoever that may be, to get in football shape. I guess he's a football guy to get people in shape. With the D-line, it will be unreal. And then Micah chimes in, man, don't tell me that info like that. And then he at David Mulugeta. Like, let me tell y'all what this is like. And I know it's going to rub people the wrong way. But this is equivalent for you to be with your old lady, and you smashing your old lady. I guess it's late somewhere, right? It's 9:57. All right, so it's late somewhere. All right, and you smashing your old lady. But at the end of the day, you sitting here saying, you know what? That Ashaniqua over there, you liking her photos, you sending her DMs, you telling her, hey, if Tyrone and them slip up over there, feel free. Come slide over here, because that's just for what it is. You can't do that. You can't entertain that, but I guess you can when you pissed off with the organization and franchise for holding out and not getting you anything. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to try to go get something, and that's what Parsons is saying. Okay, if you don't value me, you don't like me, we used to smash, but okay, all right, you don't want, that's okay. I'm going to take my talent to L.A. Ledbetter Luke, man, look how many QBs went out their way to take less than $60 million. Then you hype up Dak, laughing out loud. Should I get him, Ledbetter Luke? Should I get you? Are you coming at me without facts? Because it's time for Law Nation to really get you. You know what I'm saying? Because you came in here with that straw man's argument. I get you. You know what I'm saying? All right, give me a couple of seconds here, and I got something for you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? My brother from another mother. Ledbetter, come on with it. All right, bear with me. I'm gonna pull this up. Where I go? I go to contracts. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to go to contracts, right? Let me go to my contracts over here. We're going to go to rankings. We're going to go to quarterbacks. All right? And we're going to look them up. Full rank. Okay. A matter of fact, I got to sign in here because they got them ads popping up. Let me sign into here. Ledbetter Luke. I need to know, I want to know, I got to know how many Super Bowls and how much more money do these guys have than Rain Dakota Prescott. I'm finna pull this up. And on top of that, we're talking about APY versus the value of the contract, right? So when we're going to talk about money then, you got Pat Mahomes. He's making $450 million. Now, I'm not I'm not a sharpest knife in the drawer, but I got some sharp points, right? So my point is, if I take $450 million, right, and if I minus 240, right, let me know how much of a difference that is from money, from a remuneration aspect. Is that almost damn near twice the size of what Dak Prescott is getting? Yes or no, right? And if I look at Joshua Allen's contract, that's $330 million. How far is $330 million from 240, right? Come on, you are in the classroom of understanding money versus APY. Would you rather have the APY or would you rather have the value of the contract? That's what I need to know. Give me the value of the contract. Give me Joshua Allen's contract. Give me $330 million versus $240 million any day, anytime. That's a difference of $90 million. That's equivalent if you've seen somebody on the streets, living on the streets, right? And they are only making $12 a day, right? And if you see somebody making $90 million, shoot, that's a whole difference. That's the difference between Joshua Allen's contract and Dak Prescott, by the way. And how many Super Bowls do Joshua Allen have? Y'all let me know. And he's getting $330 million, and not a single soul said, hey, he better win us a Super Bowl. Now, Joe Burrows, class personified, one of the greatest quarterbacks that you can even lay your eyes on. He's getting paid $275 million. And he had Jamar Chase, T. Higgins last season, and they couldn't get to the postseason. What storyline would that be if that was Dak Prescott fully healthy? With a Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they would be saying, hey, what happened to the quarterback? He's supposed to be able to elevate the rope. He's supposed to take them to the Super Bowl, getting paid $250 million. Oh, yeah. And then they got a twin contract between him and Trevor Lawrence. Look, I don't even think that Trevor Lawrence got a postseason win. I don't know. But he getting paid $250 million, $275 million. That's over $250 million, right? Oh, and Brock Purdy, $265 million. Let me know how far 265 is from 240. And he's getting paid good money. But people tend to pay attention to the APY. I can't tell you guys how crazy this is, right? And on top of that, he's getting paid more than Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts getting paid $255 million. That's $15 million more than Dak Prescott. But people look at the APY. Why is the APY so high? Because we got Jerry Jones dragging and waiting to the last minute to get these contracts done. So what I'm getting at is that, yes, we pay those premiums because of how we orchestrate and how we handle these contracts. And I have yet to see anybody that can out-debate that part. Dak Prescott is number 9 on this list. Not number 1, not number 2, not number 3, not number 4, not number 5, not number 6, not number 8. No, he's number 9. And how many of these guys got Super Bowls? I'm looking at Pat Mahomes, and I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. That's 2 out of the top 10s with Super Bowls. So let me know. Let me know. The craziest thing of it all is that you was talking contracts with Dak Prescott. You could have been talking before Jalen Hurts got his money. Before Lamar Jackson got his money. And as great as Lamar Jackson is, he only got one more playoff win than Dak. You know, it's crazy how this thing is. You know, correction law, scrabbling and scraping. Yeah, you got to scramble and scrape for that money. But at the end of the day, these are the things that we live through.
There are some question marks on the defensive side of the ball. I will say my favorite thing that happened all day yesterday was the Joe Milton 100-yard heave down the field to Jalen Brooks with an incredible catch. Jalen Brooks has always been a special player, so I'm excited for him to work into that offense you just talked about as well, Garrett. So some good news on the offense, some questions on the defense. So let's get into the biggest storyline on the field. We know Micah has dominated the headlines off the field, but what's the biggest on the field storyline, Garrett, that you're looking at?
To me, it's the young offensive line. I mean, Dallas has invested a lot of high-round picks in these guys. Left tackle Tyler Guyton, 2024 first-round pick. He's not out there because he's got the knee bone bruise situation that he might be ready for week 1, might not. Jerry Jones said, he doesn't feel like it's all that serious when I spoke to him yesterday about Guyton. And then you have Cooper Beebe, second year as a full-time center at Kansas State in college. He was a guard and left tackle.
Yeah, this is devastating right here. Let me pull this right here. Devastating to have him not getting these reps. We know Tyler Guyton need those reps. I'm going to put a box right here because that's going to equivalent solid. He's solid. He is solid. Tyler Smith is solid. Cooper Beebe, second year. He need as much reps as possible. Rookie, he need as much rep as possible. Terrence Steele, I'm gonna put a question mark right here. But I need him. I need Terrence Steele to be healthy, to be a veteran leader on his line. If I had a time machine and I go back to the year 2020 or 2021, and if I'm to tell you guys that Terrence Steele would be the veteran offensive lineman on your team, you guys would be, y'all be laughing. Y'all be laughing, y'all. Now, Nate Thomas, from the Cowboys' perspective, right? He's been playing pretty well. You would think that, it'll be good for Nate Thomas to get that work in against Micah Parsons, but that's a whole nother conversation. But 1 out of 5 is not a good situation. 1 out of 5 is not a good situation. And I'm not beating up this team. I'm just telling y'all how I feel. 1 out of 5 is not a good situation. One solid piece out of 5 is not a good situation, man. Now, Cooper Beebe, maybe he can turn into that solid piece. And Tyler Booker is going to take him some growing pains to get there. Maybe around week 5, week 6, everything began to slow down for him. But we got 1 out of 5, baby. So we need Tyler Smith. We need Tyler Smith to stay healthy and remain healthy throughout this particular season if we're going to make it far. Right? That's all I'm saying. I'm not beating up this team. I love this team. Yeah. We need Nate Thomas to continue to excel, Big Sarge. You're right. We need him. We need that brother to continue to excel.
have right guard Tyler Booker, first-round pick this year, learning a new position. He's left guard in college, right guard now. I spoke with him after practice, and he said, we have to start faster in the run game because, honestly, early on and through most of the practice, the offensive line kind of got stonewalled. Brian Schottenheimer said his biggest issue was the Rams linebackers, too much color, because the Cowboys wearing white jerseys, Rams blue for defense, too much color in the backfield, and he really wants the offensive line to be able to get to the second level and be the aggressors. And more often than not yesterday, that was not the case for this young offensive line. And Nate Thomas is now in there at left tackle filling in. He was a 2024 7th-round pick. He has not played an NFL regular season game. And so I'm really interested to see how this team can improve and gel over these 3 preseason games because it's going to be tough. Week 1, Jalen Carter, tough, ferocious Eagles, Super Bowl championship D-line, and Dexter Lawrence, the Giants in week 2. It doesn't get any easier for these guys.
It just I laugh only because I hear what's on the schedule for this team, and then I'm like, why is Micah not signed? But that's a story for another day. A big issue.
We could talk about that for hours.
Yes, we could, and we got to keep it rolling. Garrett, a big issue last year, though, of course, was the run game, and it's really been an issue for the last few years. You saw Rico Dowdle kind of pop at the end of the season, but I believe the Cowboys had like 6 rushing touchdowns last year, so not good. Being out at practice, you saw the pops, right? Jaden Blue looks really good. Miles Sanders rebranding himself. Javonte Williams has been key. But the problem is that offensive line isn't allowing them to thrive. Is that what you're seeing out there in practice?
That's exactly what I'm seeing, Haley. I mean, honestly, in the joint practice yesterday against the Rams, I'd say maybe the best run of the day was one from the shotgun taken by Javonte Williams. And that went maybe 7-8 yards if we're being generous here. And so, yeah, I've seen Jaden Blue. He's got some really nice wiggle. There was a run on Monday that he had.
No doubt, no doubt. Got a super chat. Appreciate you so much. Ant Brown states, where are we fitting Brooks in at? He's a beast. Keep in mind, he's learning right guard versus being a left guard, right, in college. So there's a little nuances that he's picking up. Can he do it? Yes. Is it a situation whereas will he be, the guard like a Zach Martin year 1? I don't know. We got to give this guy chances and times. What you don't want to do is pull him and insert a Brock Hoffman or TJ in that spot. We need for him to stay healthy, get as many reps as possible, so that we can get things moving. They finna go over running backs. I think that the running back room still is a little bit better than what we had last season. It's just that when we look at this offensive line, to push the ability to be consistent is what we didn't see. To be fair, we can't judge a team based off of practice, not a game. Not a game, right? And the offensive line is the only unit that all 5 guys must be on the same page, right? And to get a good and proper vibe of the running back, where they have their landing marks, how they get upfield, that is a real tangible thing that they're going to have to learn on how Javonte Williams like to run, on how Jaden Blue like to hit his holes and crease in the seam and get upfield. So those are things that we have to wait upon, Cowboy Nation.
In which it looked like he was stuck, but he was in a phone booth, hit a couple juke jump cuts, and he was gone for a nice run. I think the Cowboys have some talent in this running back room. Blue, Phil Maffa, the 7th-round pick out of Clemson, is someone who Brian Schottenheimer said and singled out unquestioned, unprompted, and said,
oh, Brooks, not Booker. Well, Booker, I meant to say, my bad. Booker, he's still going to have to get things going in the right and proper direction.
He's somebody who's really flashing with his vision since they've gotten to camp here in Oxnard. But honestly, the running back battle, to me, it's going to be very hard to differentiate guys if the holes just aren't there from the offensive line. So that's something, going back to what we were talking about a little earlier, Haley, we need to see that development there if Dallas is going to even be able to discern which running backs should be getting which touches. But Javonte Williams, who I spoke to on Monday, he's kind of embraced being the vet leader while also competing with the young guys, and he's the early RB1 here entering the first preseason game.
I am hoping that we can get it together because that week 1 game is coming quick. I believe there's 30 days until the Cowboys kick off against the Eagles. Garrett, we know you will be on top of all the storylines and all the conversations coming out of Oxnard, California. We appreciate your time this morning. Of course, we know the Cowboys getting their preseason action underway this Saturday in Los Angeles. Going to take on Sean McVay's Rams there, 7 o'clock Eastern. And then it only gets trickier going forward. The following week, they've then got the Ravens, August 16th. They wrap up preseason play with the Falcons. But remember, guys, the first 2 weeks of the season, Eagles in prime time to start the season. And then they play the Giants, and it only gets in the second.
I want to pause it right here. Appreciate the super chat. If we shout out to my brother, Twin Empire, man, y'all be sure to check out my brother, man, doing great things in the 49ers community. That August 16th Ravens game, I can't stand the new philosophy and the layout of the NFL. But the middle game used to be the dress rehearsal. If it's a team that's similar, not same, but similar to the Eagles, that would be a damn good dress rehearsal game. Oh, my gosh. But the Cowboys will not do it. They're going to rest most of their starters. We're going to get a few full evaluations of the back end of the guys here. And we'll see how all of this works.
Charles, $10. Law, glad you made it home safe. I thank you for sharing to us all you did. Red heart suit. I know the girls are glad to have daddy home.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you so much, Sadiq. Thank you so much for your support. Yep. Yes, indeed, boy. Thank you so much for your support. Thank y'all. Mr. President says, me neither, Law. Yeah. What's up? Shout out to you, Chris. But let's get to this part right here. Cowboy Nation. Let's do this. Let's go to this break right here, and we get things moving and grooving. Let's talk about control. And first and foremost, I'm talking about control body odor, and that's anywhere. And all you have to do is shop.mando and get $5 off of your starter pack, and that's over 40% with promo code LAW. Shopmando.com. Let's go. I use this body wash, odor control, full body control with Mando. They have the product here, and they also have deodorant that you apply under the arm for 72 hours of odor control. You want to be in control. And speaking of control, they also have the product that you can apply all over the body, the invisible cream, and it also fights for 72 hours. Look, it's all about being in control. And with Mando, man, they control body odor anywhere. All you have to do is shop.mando, get $5 off your starter pack. That's over 40% with promo code LAW. Shopmando.com. Let's go, and let's stay in control of your odor. I love it.
Let's go, man! Oh my goodness! Let's go! Oh my goodness! It is you!
Let's get it, man. That's Mando. So if you don't want people saying, oh my goodness, it is you, be sure to use Mando full body odor control. Put it all over your body, man, the invisible cream, and it works up to 72 hours. I just recommend, wash yourself off and then apply the Mando. Let's not try to attempt these type of things without fresh water, right? But it will last up to 72 hours. Mando, be in control, full body control with Mando, and then use promo code LAW to get up to 40% off of all of your purchases there. So they even got the wipes, the wet wipes. You know what I mean? You're traveling, you need to stay clean. Use those wet wipes, all right? So I love Shotty to this degree, is that he's not folding up like a wallet nor a lawn chair. There was some crazy stuff that was mentioned by this guy. Let me see if I can pull this up. And people, you know, they don't see the humor in my content sometimes, but, you know, I get it. You know, it is for what it is. If you're going to make fun of my boys and try to make coins off of it, then I'm going to make fun of you and make coins off of it. That's how I see it, Cowboy Nation. So there was a guy by the name of Colin Cowherd. You know, he was talking out of term, right, and talking disrespectfully about our team, basically. Let me see if I can find it right here. Here you go.
What do you think about Pete Carroll wearing a backwards hat?
I never mind my coaches wearing their hat backwards. I encourage it. You know, I don't like backward hats. What's worse is a backward visor. That's a 2-win team. I'm taking away 4 wins. So when you sit in front of a podium, you're representing the Cowboys, you're representing Bank of America, you're representing a $12 billion corporation.
Colin, what do you think?
So Colin Cowherd states that the Cowboys only going to win the 2 games. So I got the Cowboys literally starting off 2-0. I got us beating the Eagles. I got us beating the Giants. Call me crazy. I know some people get mad at me. And they say, hey, Law, you just said, now wait a minute, how all of a sudden we going to win? Hey, look, leave me alone. I think that right now, hey, if it's going to be a shootout between Dak Prescott and the Eagles, it can literally be that. It's just going to have to be that CeeDee Lamb, Kevontae Turpin, who you got to really control and cover every blade of grass out there, special teams. There's a lot of other ways you can win football games, but I got my team winning 2 games, especially week 1 and week 2. So according to Colin Cowherd, we only going to win them 2, and we're going to lose the rest. We're going to go on a losing spree. But I like the way my guy responded, and this is really good.
Oh, sorry, Colin. Let me turn my hat around. Yeah.
I love that. I love that about my guy. He ain't dodging. He ain't dodging nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
That's 214 or 817 and all of the 3s you can dial. There will be someone on the other end. If you call during business hours, don't be calling at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about, hey, Frenkel! Just Frenkel. Don't even give me the other Frenkel. One of y'all pick up the phone. No, don't do that during business hours. They got over a combined of 100 years of experiences here in Dallas. Slip and falls, they would take care of you. If you're at work, you slip and fall, you hit your knee, your hip, or that pinky toe. Be sure to reach out to them, man. They can find something that can help you out with a claim. On top of that, keep this in mind. If you've been pretty much T-boned, or somebody hit you in the rear end, right? And it's not your fault too. Call Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers. Someone will be able to assist you with that. They take great care of you, now the advantages of you. Now, on the flip end, if you want to reach out to Law Nation, there's a phone line, 657-390-7391. That's the Frenkel and Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers hotline for your mind. Give me a call. We talking about Cowboys and beyond, and we're going to go over my thoughts of this particular team. This particular team playing this weekend. Football vibes are back. Football preseason is here, Cowboy Nation, and we want our guys to stay healthy. We want our guys to be good out there on the field, and we want to get things going in the best way, proper way, properly. if possible, this weekend, Cowboys, we want to make sure that we're evaluating the right things, the evaluation for the nation, Cowboy Nation, as we look through some of this and most of this. All right, so that hotline for your mind, I got 334, you're live on the nation, brought to you by FrenkelFirm.com. Talk to me. 334. Once. Twice. 3 times a lady. Where you at, 334? Three, 334, you're out of here. Okay. 970, you're live. 970, you're live.
How about them Cowboys?
What's good with you, Sonny, man? Thank you, man. Thank you for calling in.
No, I'm just sitting here. Let me turn down. I'm just sitting here listening to you.
Okay.
I got us winning that first game. If Dak Prescott plays football, remember when he played against Tom Brady when he came back from that injury that first game of the season when they played?
Right.
They were going to hung the banner.
Right.
If he plays as good as that, we will beat Philadelphia.
Yeah. You got what you got to do is
play that way.
Yeah, you can't be one-dimensional with them. You're going to have to run the ball and throw it. You can't be just one side of it. Right?
Yeah. I'm a little nervous with our offensive line.
Yeah. They got 30 days. Nervous. They got 30 days to get it together.
All right. Hey, if we do, I'm not saying we are, but I mean, there's going to be plenty of chances down the road. But what would you say if we traded Michael to the Jacksonville for Hunter, and they gave us either their number 2 pick or another 1? You think a 1's maybe going a little too much? It's pretty cost trade.
They just gave Trevor Lawrence, the guy that they paid $250 million, a weapon. So they're not finna get rid of that weapon for him. They need to see what he can do. Hold on, I got a super chat.
Lock, $20.
Oh, go
What's
ahead.
Good law? Fest back from Jamaica. What game is the dress down game? DC4L.
Most certainly, Paralock. I'll definitely give you that information shortly. But yeah, Sonny, I'm looking at it like the trade scenarios with Parsons is going to take 2 to tango. I think that Jerry Jones, his calling card is he gets a fix off of like who wants his product, and he's not going to get rid of Micah Parsons for cheap. Mm-hmm. And he's gonna he would rather have Micah Parsons on his side versus having him on the other side. So he's not going to get rid of Micah Parsons.
So you look for him to sign him then, maybe by week 1 or what?
I think that if the stale of the negotiations don't go through, I think that Jerry Jones is with the mindset to play him out through the end of this year. And then at the end of this year, he can still put him on the franchise tag out through the end of this year. And then at the end of this year, he can still put him on the franchise tag.
So what happens if he does all that? What's Micah going to play then or no? This year?
The way I know Parsons, man, I don't think that he would leave money on the table.
Well, no, I don't think he would.
Yeah, it'll be career crazy because you see what he did within the confines of his first 4 years. Why stop that momentum? For another money. But yeah, he's getting paid. He's getting paid $24 million right now. So he got money. Don't get it twisted.
So how long could Jerry Jones hold this up for? Another 2 years, 3 years, or?
I think Jerry Jones got the optimum 3-year advantage over Micah Parsons overall. But I appreciate you, Sonny, man. Thank you for calling in, bro.
I just wanted to say you did a good job. I'm glad to see you back on. You guys all did a good job. I like that show where you do it with them other guys, Foots and John and Scott, Skyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that the other night. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
pretty good show too. You
Yes,
guys
indeed.
are doing a great job, and I appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Thank you, Sonny, man. Let me hear you say it.
How about them Cowboys?
How about him, man? That's Sonny, man. Always calling in, giving us good energy. Yeah, I just don't. Now, back again, we don't have to do all of this. Right? We don't have to. That's the only thing that I'm trying to lament to all of you guys. We don't have to do all of this. The Jerrys, they love this. The Stevens, they love this because there's no other storyline people are talking about this week but the Cowboys. Right? We don't have to. And when you start to think about it, what do we really ultimately benefit from this? Every lady that's in this chat, I'm just using this as an analogy, not to call any of these football players ladies, but every lady in this chat would love to have the man to just propose to them. They shouldn't have to ask, will you marry me? You know, they shouldn't have to ask those things. And when these guys are in love with the particular team, the Dallas Cowboys, and they put their blood, sweat, and tears for their rookie contract or within the confines of their second contract, they shouldn't have to ask Jerry or Steven, give me what I'm owed or give me what I'm worth. It should be automatic, man. They should all of these guys should be able to wake up one morning, check their phone, and they look down and they got a $52 million contract like Jake Ferguson. There's no way that you can put together a framework of saying if we go on off of the pattern or off of the ideology that the Dallas Cowboys players got to earn their contract in order to get paid. And you can sit here with a straight face and say, yeah, Ferguson earned that $52 million, man. He just woke up one day, hey, you know, he had 0 touchdowns last season, right? His numbers were very pedestrian. And we can quantify the fact that, hey, the quarterback was hurt and he had the backup quarterback throwing him the ball. But you can make arguments across the board for other players. But all of these guys would love to wake up to go ahead and sign that deal, ink on paper, and get things done. But we don't operate that way. All right, I got No Clone Tyrone from the 202. You're live on the Nation, then the 469. You waiting next. Okay, talk to me.
What's going on, love?
Not much, bro. What you got for me?
Man, I just hope they pay Micah soon. Right now, I don't know. I feel like Jerry just don't care about this thing. When you drag stuff out like this, the man wanted to get paid last season.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, that's a storyline for another day. But I just hope they pay this boy some and stop playing around with it.
Yeah, man. We all looking at it from that aspect too. Just pay the man, you know, what his market value is. But what they want to do, they want to do this all the time, Tyrone. What they want to do is they want to say, okay, well, we want to pay you last two years ago market value, not the current one.
It don't make sense. You drag this out, the man ain't paid. He could get reps with Booker and all these different offensive linemen. He could be getting reps with them. Like, they could be helping them get better.
Yeah.
They could be sharper, you know. Iron sharpening iron, still sharpening still, you know, that little, you know, that analogy of it. It could be that right now, but it's just like until Jerry is out of Dallas, I don't see us doing anything. Jerry he's toxic, man. It's diabolical.
Yeah. And I get it, like these are negotiations. And negotiations do supposed to get dirty and nasty. But they don't have to. And just because one player did it doesn't mean that all players have to do it. You get what I'm saying too?
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's hard to root. I mean, I'm going with my Cowboys stuff. I'm going to root for my team.
Right.
But it's hard to talk smack against other teams when your defense end ain't signed. Like little small things. Like he won a contract.
Yeah.
He clearly want to be here. Like, you don't want to trade him. And then he didn't requested the trade and everything. You ain't trading that man. So you sign a contract and just get it over with.
Man. And that's exactly what we saying here, bro, man. I appreciate you for calling in. What else you have for me, man?
I pretty much, that's all I had for today, because that's been weighing on my heart ever since I seen the news breaking him saying he wanted to be traded.
Yeah, and when they say that, it's the end of the road. It's like, okay, let's not lose no sleep out over it. He tell everybody, let's not lose any sleep over it, right? And then when it's time for the agency to give him a call, they're not picking up the phone. So how did you supposed to handle that frustration?
Exactly.
You're going to be frustrated.
Like,
so of course you're going to flirt. Of course you're going to flirt with other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you're going to start saying, man, imagine me winning Rams, or imagine me. He's smart not to say the Eagles, but imagine me on the Eagles, or imagine me on the Washington team. The list goes on, and we literally just seen this in full circle with the Saquon Barkley thing.
Yeah.
The Giants literally sent Saquon Barkley to the Eagles, and the Eagles need to send the Giants at least one Super Bowl ring to somebody over there in the staff.
It boils down to this: if we trade him away, we gave him somebody a Super Bowl. That's just that simple. You giving a Super Bowl.
Precisely.
You giving a Super Bowl, and I know the ones that keep saying trade Micah Parsons. And I watched your show I think it was yesterday, when the guy was ranting about trade Micah Parsons. We don't need no defensive pass rusher. The whole defensive line works hand in hand. Pass rushers, defensive tackles. We need it all. So to trade that piece away, this don't make sense. It's like starting back over from. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
I ain't gonna hold the line.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for calling in, bro.
I just appreciate everything you keep doing, man. You just keep on going, Law.
No doubt, man. I thank you, man. Thank you, bro. Let me hear you say it.
How about them boys? How about them boys?
How about them boys, man? There's no clone, man. Tyrone, because he ain't cloned at all. And he's telling the truth, y'all. Like your body can literally survive without its big toe. But why cut it off? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need the big toe, man. We got another big toe, man. Let's just cut this one big toe off, No. That's what we be doing over here, man. Hey, man, we good. We don't need that pinky on that hand. We good, man. We got 9 other fingers, man. Shoot, let's cut that one off, We go get another one and glue it back together. No, don't look, let's stop doing that. Believe it or not, man, boy, when players get hurt in Dallas, boy, they become disrespected, right? When players get paid in Dallas, they get disrespected. Shoot, them two things, boy. Boy, when DeMarcus Ware got hurt, him in that neck and that back, shoot. Boy, it's just crazy how all of these things happen. Let me let the next caller on from the 469. You're live on The Nation. Talk to me.
Law, what's good, baby? Good evening and good night. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man. How Karuchi?
Oh, man, you looking good. You got you one of them Oxford tans, looking good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, man,
I saw
I
you on one of them. saw you up there, baby. You had the beard was shining. The beard was looking good. All right
you,
now,
man. I appreciate you.
Looking like a few coins in your pocket. Ain't nothing wrong with that. God is good. God is good. Amen and hallelujah. It's good to talk to you tonight.
Good to talk to you, man. What you got for me, man?
Well, you know, for a second. I had to clear a little bit of that hateration out my throat.
Yes, indeed.
And he was saying that Jerry Jones doesn't care about the Cowboys. Now, let's clear this up real quick.
Okay.
All right? There ain't nobody, and time means nobody that is listening right now that got money in their bank account that they don't care about. All right? Now, how many B's does Jerry Jones have behind that star? I think he got about 11. He got 11 fire rings. You think he don't care about that? Jerry Jones don't care about that. I would say Jerry Jones cares so much about that he said, hey, I'd rather go and get ratings going more and get a Super Bowl. I think that's what's going on. I think we can fairly say that.
Okay.
The thing is Jerry understand the business. See, he understand I got to keep these eyeballs on me, baby. You know, because we got a Shador in the league now. All right, and he was league now. All right, and he looked good up there. They ain't been giving him a lot, but he looked good. And I think this Saturday they're gonna give him something. So he said, I gotta outfight that. I gotta find a way to keep these eyeballs on the Cowboys. So that's why they're doing all this. Y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. This thing gonna get done, and we're gonna be on the way to the playoffs and the Super Bowl because what we see at wide receiver, if Dak and CD can get that Jedi mind trick working, where Dak thinking, CD thinking, and boom, it's there, and then get a Pickens working, and then we actually start using a Turpin in the passing game, and not just no jet sweep guy, no gadget guy. You know, anyway, I digress. If we get that going, we're gonna be something special. We're gonna have now when we look on the other side of the field, that's gonna be the driving force, Dak and them receivers. We're gonna have to outscore everybody we get on the field with. But I believe we can do it, and I don't think there will be a team that can outscore us when them two or them three or them four on the same page. And don't forget Jake Ferguson. Oh, man, I'm getting happy already, baby. Look, that's all I got, Law. I love you, baby. It's so good to see you. Keep doing this thing. Y'all in the chat, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Go on and put a little tithe money in the plate if you got a little bit to give. You know what I'm saying? Keep this thing going. All right, it's time, baby.
No doubt, man. Look. That's from the 469, man. It's Coach Prime, Leon Sandcaster. Yeah. All right. So, with that being said, I got one other caller that's been on the line, and let's see what he have to say about this. From the 206, you in the mix. Talk to me, MJ, man. Talk to me, man.
What up, Rob?
Not much, bro.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, bro.
Well, he trying with the. I got a few things. Your boy, he did this. One thing you don't. It's like when I shake your hand, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. Never shake a man's hand and look him in the eyes and do that.
And do which one?
That's what your boy, Parsons.
Now there are formal proposals and then there are informal proposals, right? And if you look at if you look at a house contract, right, or even a player professional contract, them pages is about the size of a phone book, right? And you can shake hands, dap them up, put in the Bohemian Grove, secret, Illuminati grip and all of that stuff, and you can say, hey, with this grip, we can identify that you are a brother, whether you are in the dark or in the light. You know what I'm saying? That's the unified grip, right? Right. But it don't mean a hill of beans if you can't get none of that on writing, right? And contract and principle. He may have said $200 million guaranteed is something that we can try to work on. I don't know. We don't have that conversation, right? This is Jerry Jones. This is a 25 to a 26-year-old kid that he's taking literally advantage of if they are having these type of conversations without his agent present. That's why the agent been saying, okay, get me on the phone. Let's have this conversation so that we can make sure that everybody's on the same page and no one's getting taken advantages of.
That's what I'm trying to say, folks. Both of them goofy. He should have took he should have did what Dak Prescott did. Y'all, he cool. That's your boss. But y'all say, nah, Jerry, this me. Jerry, I ain't gonna do that because I don't know these contracts. I'm gonna put my man on the phone because I run him and y'all gonna get this deal done for me. If he just said that to Jerry and Jerry said, well, I ain't gonna do that, then that means Jerry bull crap. You see what I'm saying? See, that's how you throw it on Jerry. Say, Jerry, all right, I want the deal. Now, I ain't going to shake your hand because I don't know what I'm signing for. It sounds good, but let me get my boy. I'm going to call him right now, put him on the phone with you, and y'all get this done right now.
Man, Marv, you speaking, you singing and you speaking to the choir right now, because or you preaching to the choir. Because when I was in door-to-door salesman, every floor, every door, and if you're not talking to the person that can get the deal done, the gate, you got to get beyond. First, you got to get beyond the gatekeeper, right? And then you get to the decision maker. But then there's another decision maker. Normally it's mama, or normally it's the queen of the Peace Corps. It's someone else, right? Especially when it's that type of money, right? But we got a super chat. Hold tight for me, man.
James Runnels, Ivy, $20. Law, what's good, baby? Hashtag Law Nation, y'all hit that like and sub and put a lil tithe money in the plate so we can keep this thing going. Don't panic, Jerry gone sign Parsons and we gone party.
Yes, indeed. That's James Runnels, man. Thank you so much for the $20 cash. But MJ, what I'm getting at, and I really appreciate everybody's support, it don't have to be taken to that degree. You get what I'm saying, MJ? Of Parsons saying, "Hey, man, I no longer want to play for the Cowboys. It shouldn't take that much,
Yeah, but he shouldn't say that though. I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I'd have played it just like.
How many years older are you over Micah Parsons?
No. Even though I'm young. Look at CD. CD didn't do that.
You mean to tell me the infrastructures of what we're trying to do is we trying to put the infrastructure of CD, of CD, the temperaments. If you go watch CD Lamb and Parsons enter a room, these are two different temperaments of people. And if you look at Dak Prescott and CD, those are two different temperaments of people. Like Dak Prescott, literally. If anybody, look, if y'all want to point blame and fault Dak for going out there every day, happy-go-lucky, at camp, at practice, smiling, cheer. It was ear to ear. Dak had the ultimate control last year to not show up. And if he didn't show up, Lamb didn't show up, and Parsons didn't show up because they're going to follow the leader, right? Jerry and Steven would have had no choice but to fold and pay all three. But now by it being the way that it is, one by one got paid, and now the last one to get paid, we are getting taxed because we are talking about this versus talking about the Eagles. We got to play the Eagles in 29 days, and we are talking about this. It's crazy.
That's why you got to be team first.
Yeah.
I know he won his money, but man, still on the contract, 24,000. Man, I ought to be. You can't get hurt, but that's why I said I wish they need to change the law with this stuff. They make everybody in the 5th year. That's when you talk contract. First round pick. Can't talk in the 4th year. The 5th year, everybody got.
Well, Marv, the 5th year was designed for that. The 5th year option, in my opinion, is an option equivalent to the franchise tag, meaning that it's money that's given to you. You can't prorate it, you can't spread it out unless you extend that contract, right? Now, the Cowboys utilize CeeDee Lamb's 5th year deal, right, to spread and spend that out. They ended up at the time before CeeDee Lamb got his money. They could have signed CeeDee Lamb for $26 to $28 million. But by them waiting, they ended up paying more, right? For example, Micah Parsons, he said that he would love to get the deal done last season, right? At that time, you could have easily signed Micah Parsons to a $31 to a $33 million deal. Yeah.
That's what he should have did.
Yeah, but they didn't do that. They didn't do that.
Yeah, both big dummies, 2 dummies, the GM and the player, both of them played each other. Now they pissed. Both of their feelings hurt.
But Marv, before I let you go, if we look at all of this, we're arguing over $4 to $5 million, upon which the $4 to $5 million, we ain't gonna do nothing with it anyway. We are sitting on $31 million right now, and we refuse to use and to take that money to go out and get people. So what are we talking about, right? It's just crazy how the Jones is talking about the pie and how they're gonna spread it out, but they don't even do it. Yeah.
That, but before you leave, that's the Jones. It's their team. That's how they play games.
Yeah.
That's how they do, man.
Yeah.
That's they. We can't do nothing about it.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you for calling in. Go ahead.
But was one thing. I seen the camp and the practice, and it wasn't bad. I wasn't tripping because it was basic. They wasn't really trying to do nothing. The Saturday, that's what I'm waiting for.
No doubt, man. Then you can see the game plan. I got a super chat, man. Appreciate you for calling in, though,
Robbins, $5. The most weapons for Doc and carry the O with less. I like the odds with Shotty and an aggressive line. Pass rush. Deadly with Micah. Slam. ECU. Fowler.
Yeah. And these are all weapons, Marcus, that is considered potentials, right? Like, of course, we would love to see the mixture of Overshawn and Parsons, as well as Sam Williams, Donovan Ezeraku, and Fowler. But you got to pay these guys. You literally got to figure out ways to get things moving. And I hate to use the notion that, this is what we live by having these tensions. But this is what we live by having these tensions. And just like what James Runnell said, is that, the Cowboys will eventually pay Parsons, which is cool. But look what you do. Look, but at what cost? Look at what it cost you. Look at what it cost you. To this day, there will be some people that will forever call Parsons greedy. To this day, there will be people that will forever say that his agent is greedy. To this day, there will be people to say that Parsons is a one-trick pony. He's not worth the money, the value, etc. There are things that we speak into, and I call it life. Everything that you've seen around in your room that you are in was once spoken into existence. If we continue to beat up our own selves, right, and continue to channel that negative energy, crazy of the craziest things will happen, whether it's in a game, whether it's in an important series. It will happen because we speak these things into existence. He's trash. He's no good. He's X, Y, and Z. I sit there, and you can watch. I kid you not, I'm going to the Cowboys versus the Rams scrimmage game. I had this Cowboys hat on. Which was a dope hat. The driver that was in front of me, he was an Eagles fan going to the Cowboys versus the Rams camp joint practice. He proceeded to drive slow on purpose to pull off his hat on his head, to hang it out the window and start pointing at Super Bowl champ hat, right? Then put it on and begin to drive recklessly, right? And if you are to talk to any Eagles fan, they will never submit the notion that Jalen Carter is trash. Jordan Davis is trash. Quinyon Mitchell is going to have a horrid sophomore year. The other kid, I forgot his name, the slot corner, Cooper DeJean. They at all times speak glowingly of their organization and franchise. They don't give a damn who Jalen Hurts is compared to, but in their bird brains, in their minds, they will literally say, Jalen Hurts better than Joe Burrows. Jalen Hurts, man, he outperform and outduel Pat Mahomes. Jalen Hurts is just as good. But on the Cowboys side, there's a greater divide between us and how we regulate and how we handle our individual fans and the outside noise. It's crazy. But it is for what it is. He wasn't a fan. He was a scout laughing out loud. He probably was. All right, from the 314, man, you're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
But in their bird brains, in their minds, they will literally say, I'm a performance out.
314. Once. I like listening to myself. Well, I was cooking with that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, 314. All right, so.
Goodbye.
That was the last caller of the hour, man. I appreciate everybody, man, for tuning in and being part of these episodes. It's crazy how we kind of beat up our own, and I get it. You know, we all guilty of it. Andre Booth. We talk bad about him. Terrence Steele, to a degree, we do talk bad about him. And those are some other guys. Jalen Brooks, as much as I talk bad about Jalen Brooks, wanting to get him up out of the paint, he's been showing us that he got 9 lives, right? So it's going to be hard when we do the evaluations of those type of things. But we never go to the extent where it's personal. That's what we don't do. And a lot of Cowboy fans do that personal stuff. But it's a whole nother conversation. Seabass says there's that damn sound again. Cowboy Nation. Brandon Cuff says law clowning. Yeah, I mean, hey, you part of the circus, right? You know what I'm saying? But neither here nor there. Appreciate you for watching. Thanks for everybody for watching in and tuning in. We will be back to normal schedule, not this week, but next week. There should be a Super Friend show next week. We trying to iron out some time frames to do the Cowboys Collective. I trying to iron out some more time frame to do the Final Word as well. We got a lot of things that we try to do to collab with each other and everyone. So y'all bear with us. We continue to grow, and I really appreciate y'all's support. Kudos and credence to my guy, Vach Lombardi. He didn't hit 100,000 subscribers. Be sure to check him out. Check out everybody in this Cowboy space in the community. Shout out to Jay Tuck, Foots the King, and DMV George, and Landon, the Lando Show. Who else reached out to me? Louis Takes. Not Louis T, but Louis Takes, man. He's been doing a great job as well. And if I left out anyone, charge it to my head, not my heart. Let's get these things going the best way possible. We got 29 days before we face off against the Birds. And I want to leave them feathers everywhere, right? And that's what we're going to do. I don't want you guys to fall into the docile mind. I'm seeing more and more of Cowboy fans are on the docile minds. You know, Kyrie Reynolds says, I got hung up on Law. You know, but hey, man, I said 314 multiple times, man. But, hey, catch this show. I can't talk today. On the rewind. I'm trying not to talk too loud. You know, they say, man, your voice is waking the kids up and everything. So I'm trying to get my lower tone together, because I'm forgetting that, you know, my voice carry. Got to get your super chat set up. Okay, if I left out anybody, super chat, charge it to my head, not my heart, Cowboy Nation. Just want to do this right here. There will be more and more opportunities for me to do things outside of the scope of the Cowboys. We're partnering in with a lot of other deals and stuff, and I want to let y'all know that I'm forever going to be here with you guys on Talking Cowboys and getting things going. But there is another part that we will be doing a little bit things different going into this season, and I will try my darnest and my best to give you guys the play-by-play. But there are some opportunities for us to do the play-by-play live in front of a live audience, so we're trying to get things set up and squared away for that. So I really appreciate you guys for y'all support. Just bear with me for whenever we do things differently. Just know that it's a scale and growth aspect to it, right? So just want to let y'all know that. Key Air Reynolds. Did I say Reynolds right? You know, at this time, you know, Micah do matters, Brandon. Yeah, Micah do matters. But not just him. I want us to be better in this space. We shouldn't have to beat up our own in order to sign our players. We shouldn't have to beat up Parsons for being who he is. It can be annoying for him to say that about the Rams, right? Ooh. And then he at David Mulugeta and all of this stuff. I get it. Some people can call it childish, right? Coyote says Law is amazing. Hit that like for the man. You know, appreciate you, man. I'm trying to keep my voice low. You know what I'm saying? But the Dallas Cowboys, win, lose, or draw, I'm here. I know you guys are here too. We shouldn't have to beat up our own in order for them to get paid. That's just what I'm saying. They say measure a man not by his words, but by his actions. Action speaks louder than words. Well, to the account of David Mulugeta, he reached out to Jerry Jones. To the account of Jerry Jones, from what I was told, he would get the deal done on his watch. Now that we do know that they said that they started negotiations in March, if I'm not mistaken, the conversation that Jerry Jones said that he agreed with Micah Parsons with was in January. So let me know, what's the wordplay? Do March come before January, or January becomes before March? You see, the human brain, you can only lie for so long. There's not enough memory to understand all of your lies. And I get it. A salesman is to dazzle you with brilliancy and baffle you with bull sugar. And that's the salesman's dream and goal. And that's what Jerry Jones been doing. You see, that's the reality of it, regardless. Now, I'm all in favor of the Cowboys doing what's best for the Cowboys, believe it or not. But also, I'm all in favor of don't have to destroy your product, step on it before you sell it. So if you had the notion that you have reservations within the confines of Micah Parsons, whether it's podcast Parsons, whether it's one-trick pony Parsons, whether you think that he's not elite enough for you to pay him the bag Parsons, then you should have your old and gray self on that phone, cold calling all of the 31 other teams and saying, I got an unbelievable package deal for you. He wears number 11. You do that swiftly, not out and publicly, and destroy and dilute your own product. You don't do that. That's what I'm getting at. Stay calm and sign Parsons, yeah. But it goes back to this analogy. You have an old lady at the house. And I ain't gonna use that one. I can't use that. I can't use that. Nah. Y'all about to get me on that one. Nah. Let me see you use this analogy. I'm not even gonna play around with it. It's a relationship thing. It takes 1,000 years to build trust, 1 second to lose it. That's why I'm gonna keep it. 1,000 years to build trust, 1 second to lose it. There's not a woman that's in this particular chat that's watching right now that want to be able to bang the table and say, marry me. No, they want the man to covet them, and the man, blessed is he that findeth the wife, findeth a good thing, and he obtained favor from the Creator. It don't say it the other way around, and this is the same stroke of the analogy with these players that put in time, put in blood, sweat, and tears, and they want a contract. Like he said, he wanted one last year. Slow feet don't eat. That's still a principle. Write this down, Cowboy Nation. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for, to work day and night, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan for it, or lose all terror of your beautiful mind for it, if you would simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty or the famish or fame or the sickness about your brain can turn you away from the things you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it. It's your desire. It's what you want. How bad do you want it? What are you looking to do differently than what you did 30 years ago, 20 years ago, a year ago? What are we doing differently, baby? That's what we got to ask ourselves. Or are we trying to do the same thing over again?
Tell them run it off. I wake up. Yeah. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands, I'm by my lonely.
All right, so we got Hand Dog Cowboy says, my question to you, Law, is how many QBs could achieve what Dak did being a 4th round draft pick, replacing a starter? QBs as a rookie off the bench. What are we talking about, Law? Hey, come on with it.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now.
Not many quarterbacks can do that.
No sleep, no rest.
The only problem is that it's been 9 seasons now. Not to beat up Dak Prescott, but he's no longer a 4th round quarterback, in my opinion. He is a $250 million quarterback. They got 3 more years on his contract from here before you can do anything with him. So with Dak Prescott, his number one objectives for this season, stay healthy, command the team, be the voice of reasonings, and get things done that way, in my opinion.
I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off. I wake up, flex, I'm down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell them run it off. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it off.
Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors.